Now, I'm not saying he's as good as this guy. I'm not saying he's nearly as good or will be as good as this guy. What is the difference between the background stories of how where they are to where they were to where they are now of Zach Edey and Tim Duncan?
Ooh.
What's the difference? They both started playing basketball right before they got to college, and they became the best players in college basketball in 4 years. How do we know? How do we know that he's not a basketball phenom? Because everything we've seen from him suggests that he's a guy that's on the path to be great.
He was a baseball player, wanting to be a pitcher with an 85-mile-an-hour fastball. He ain't going nowhere. They give him a basketball, and of the 5-6 years he's been playing organized basketball, he has been the Naismith Player of the Year in 2 of them. In a NCAA that included Donovan Clingan, that included some of the Reed Shepherd, some of these other cats that are now in the NBA. And I have come full circle on Zach Edey again. On draft night, I was out. I couldn't be more all in on him. I put money on him as the NBA Rookie of the Year. Like, I think he could be that missing piece.
Tune in to The Anthony Sane Show, Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
10-2, is that sufficient if we make the conference championship?
I think making and competing for the conference championship, I would say that was a success.
No matter how many wins or losses you have.
I think the ultimate goal is to win the conference. So by making the conference championship, you're giving yourself a real opportunity. I would say that we should be competing every year to win the conference. Will I be disappointed if we don't win it? Absolutely, because I think this team has the favorite and has the talent to do so. But I'll chalk up making the conference title game a success.
I just put up 9-3, I think it was. I could see people being pretty upset based off the success last year. You brought back Brock, Demir. You've got all these pieces, and you can only give me 9 wins.
Yeah,
Houston's gone. SMU's gone.
100%. I think 9-3 people would be pissed.
Tune in to Tigers Untapped with TJ Willis and Trey Lasley every Wednesday at 3 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
When people are asking me about the Grizzlies season this upcoming year, they keep saying, how do you think the Grizzlies are going to do? And I keep saying the same answer. Well, they better be good. I mean, this is, everybody's coming back and all this stuff. And you expect to be good. You expect to kind of pick up where you were 2 years ago. And then they always respond with the same thing of, well, as long as everyone doesn't get injured. And I'm like, we need to stop talking about that. We got to get rid of the PTSD that we have from last season, because you could say that about every team in the league as long as they don't get injured. And what happened last year is just doesn't happen. That doesn't happen all the time. And then Friday, I get an email. While playing basketball outside of Dallas on August 27th. I mean, my goodness, the way the email started, I was like, what the hell's happened?
Like, what is, are you setting up some scene?
After attempting a contested layup, G.G. Jackson experienced an unstable landing on his right foot. Imaging revealed a broken 5th metatarsal in his right foot, which will require surgery to repair. An update will be provided following surgery, which is scheduled for today. Are we serious? Is this happening? What's going on?
Hold on, listen. When I got the alert, I'm on a golf course. And I get the message. And as soon as I get it, I'm like, maybe this is just maybe somebody, they don't really know. I'm immediately, I got this, you got to be kidding me. And when I got the yes, I was like, bro, how can this be? Like it's, and the thing is, it's like you can't tell guys don't play, don't work. Like this is just the nature of sports in general, is that injuries happen. But it's just like, geez, we did come off of a season where it was totally injury riddled. And to think of all of the joy that everyone had as to what this season could look like moving forward with the draft, and with getting guys back healthy, with how good Desmond was and how good Jaren has become. And now you throw Ja back into that mix. And we found some other pieces that you think can help you continue to be a team to get you over the hump. And it's just like every single time you feel like, oh, things are just looking up. It's just like, it just almost will give you just a dose of reality again that this can happen. The only good thing, this is like getting down early in the basketball game. We say it every telecast. At least you got down early. You got an entire game to get back into it. It happens early enough that he can get himself back and into the flow of things and still be a really huge contributor for this team. But for his sake, first and foremost, just want him to get himself healthy and then get back on the court.
Yeah, and Gigi, in the grand scheme of things, I guess good news also is, I mean, this is a guy that, he's coming off your bench. You just lost a guy that's coming off your bench. It's unfortunate because I was excited to see what he'd be in this role. After what we saw from him last year, to be a fixture in a role. I looked at Gigi much like I looked at Vince as well, as guys who are kind of like off-season acquisitions.
Right.
You're picking them up to be in roles that they weren't in a year ago. But you figure that they're going to play significant roles for your team. So it is disappointing. It is a loss. But like you said, it's at the right time, and hopefully he'll be back soon. And in the grand scheme of things, again, it's not like it's one of your front five, but that's got to be it, man. That's got to be it.
I mean, the thing is, he was huge because he was different than anybody that we have on the team.
Yeah.
Even despite what his age is, just with his skill mixed with his size, mixed with the length, mixed with the athleticism, he was the player that this team needed. And it was nice to see him be able to get the minutes, to be able to get acclimated to NBA basketball. So it'll be, hopefully it's nothing super long. I know he hasn't at this juncture, or when we're taping, he hadn't had the surgery yet, so you don't know what the timeline looks like after that. But you still wouldn't foresee it being anything deep into the beginning of the season. And so he'll be back, but it'll be what he does for this team is different than anyone else.
Yeah. Welcome back, everyone, to Night Court. Welcome to Night Court. That's Brevin Knight. I'm Rob Fisher. Thank you for joining us. Of course, you can tune in and watch the program each and every week on Bluff City Media YouTube channel. And you can listen wherever you catch your podcast as well. And we thank you for tuning into the program each and every week. We got a lot to get to today, including the Grizzlies. We're less than a month away from Media Day. We are getting closer to October. I asked you the 1st of August, what was your Grizzlies starting five? I assume it hasn't changed, right? We're still good with the same starting five.
Well, the same as I said. I still am a Des, Ja. I'm still with Vince being in there, and then Jaren and Edie.
I thought last year that, to me, your starting lineup, and even when he was injured and came back, Marcus Smart was going to be a part of it. And I thought, we had that discussion as well, and my thought was, well, you just picked the guy up. You're paying him this much money. You didn't pick him up to sit. and to sit on the bench. And that was kind of my thought of why he would play over Vince. But I think now that you're a year in and you're looking to contend for a championship, everything's just kind of out the window. It's whatever's the best lineup you're going to put out on the floor.
We just saw Jason Tatum play very sparingly at the Olympics because they were doing it for lineup situations. We're talking about a all first team NBA player whose team won the championship, and he was arguably the best player on that team. He couldn't get on the floor for any regular minutes because they just thought it wasn't the right mix. And so when I say about that starting lineup, there's no slight against anybody. I just think in terms of having a little bit more size and length on the floor, a defender, 3-point shooter, and just a guy that can then fit into a role that he's accustomed to. He played it last year. Of course, playing next to John Des will be something that's a little different. But I just think more than anything, it's the size on the floor that it helps this team in a big way. And it just gives you a veteran guy that comes off the bench, versatility when he does come into the game. And that doesn't mean that's how the game ends. It's just this is the way that the game starts. And every night may be different with how things finish up.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. And, Vince, another guy like Gigi, I look at as kind of an acquisition this offseason because you picked up guys that otherwise, if last year doesn't happen the way that it did, those two guys are probably in South Haven all year and coming into this and probably coming into this year without a role, without a clear role. So they were kind of big acquisitions as well. And I'm looking forward to Vince. And I know we're looking forward to a couple of guys that we haven't really talked a lot about because all the talk has been about Ja and about Zach Edey. But Jaren's coming back after another very solid year. And, what's his next step in a progression? Because I think people looked at last year and thought maybe he took a step back defensively. But I don't know. His role just seemed to be a lot different last year and changed a lot last year too.
That's the one thing that I don't think people will give enough credit to. He went from a guy who was on the offensive end, part of an offensive scheme, not the guy that was relied upon possession after possession to make things happen, not just scoring, but also making plays for others. That wasn't his role. And then he also had a center of size next to him that could defend bigger players, could be the physical force. He could roam on the defensive side. Well, once this season came along, we started the season with no Steven Adams. So that immediately changes his role in the lineup. He went from playing power forward to playing center. Now you don't have the ability to roam on the defensive side to be able to contest as many shots in that way. And so I thought, and then the load that he had to carry on the offensive end, a lot of games he was playing point center. He would bring the ball up the floor, make a move one-on-one, either for himself or for somebody else. He's playing with different guys every night. And so I think that for what the season was, it was a positive because he had to be more aggressive offensively and figure out ways to be the number one option on a scouting report and still have to have success. So I think the defense side will be back. We'll be able to see him be as good as he was on the defensive end. But offensively, I thought it was fun to see him not abandon the interior game as the season went along. And so I think if he continues with the mixing and matching of the two, then you're going to have a guy who is very hard to stop. They're just got to figure out how to blend all three of those guys, meaning Jaren, Dez, and Ja, how to blend all three so everyone has their opportunity and they stay aggressive. And I thought in the couple of games that they played together, they found that rhythm at times of if you're going, but they found the way to play off one another.
We will continue to look at some Grizzlies positions and players and all of that as we approach camp, which gets underway about 4 weeks from now. So looking forward to that. Steph Curry got a 1-year extension. 1 year, $62.6 million extension that'll keep him at Golden State through 26-27. Wow, that's kind of
nobody will balk at it.
Nobody. No, I don't think so. Curry.
No. There you say he signed for how much? He deserves it.
Yeah, I mean, this will keep him basically finish his career in Golden State with the Warriors. Who's the next megastar, superstar in the league that'll finish his career with the team? One team. And I guess
nobody.
Giannis.
Giannis can nobody.
Nobody.
I don't think Giannis. I mean, he's talked about it. I mean, they'll give it another run with Lillard, but I could see him at some point in time. It's no disrespect to Milwaukee, but I could see him at some point in time just being like, this is enough of being here. Let's just do something different. Just go somewhere else. And I know he's a different type star than other people, but if they can't do enough to win, like his hunger to win, I think more than anything may drive him out of Milwaukee. If he don't think that they have enough to win and they can't go in that direction, then I think he would do something else. But outside of that, I don't see
Embiid. I see him at the end of his year being at the end of his career being somewhere else.
I mean, it's just that is the fluidity. The league is just at a different place, and guys. The other thing is guys are playing longer.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like it's very unnatural to have a guy play on one team for 15, 16, 17 years, and guys 13. Even you say 12, 13, 14 years. And guys are playing, have somewhat longer careers that have that opportunity. But with free agency and the way that things move around, I don't see it being a big thing as we move forward.
Yeah.
I mean, how many people have done it? How many people have done it to this point? We had to say like in recent times, not back. Like it's
Kobe.
I just think Kobe. That you can think of, Kobe.
Yeah, I mean that's the only one that really comes to mind when you're talking about stars being in one place.
When we say the some people is the consensus greatest player of all time didn't play in one place.
Right. And the other greatest player of all time certainly didn't play in the same place either. No.
So it's easy for me to say
none of them.
I don't think I think all of them at some point in time will go somewhere else.
Yeah. Penny Hardaway. I'm wearing my Lil Penny shirt today.
I see
half
cent. I see.
Yeah, that's right.
Penny.
Penny named his all-time starting five in this last week. He named his all-time starting five. He had Shaq on that list.
Okay.
His former teammate. He had LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and Penny Hardaway. How about that?
He put himself on there?
He put himself on there, yeah. And I say kudos to Penny for putting himself on that list. If someone were to ask me what would be the greatest foursome of all time, I'd be like, all right, well, BK, me. I'd put myself on there.
Oh man, that's big time. He put himself on there.
He's got to be excited as hell to play with that lineup. Sure, Shaq, LeBron, Michael, and Kobe, and myself. Yeah, let's go get them.
Man, here's the thing. The one thing I'll give Penny a lot of credit for that one thing that people don't give him enough credit for is how good he was. Like if he didn't have the injuries when he does, like he was electric. And you talk about athletic, make plays, saw the floor extremely well, understood the game. Penny was good. He was excellent. And if you don't think highly of yourself, who will? That's
exactly
what I say.
I say good for you, Penny. I think the list is fantastic.
Shoot, why not?
All right, who's your all-time five? If you get to put yourself in it too.
If I put myself in it, the only one, number one, I wouldn't put myself in it. I all-time great. That's fine. If you ask at a certain level, it's somewhere else maybe. But I would take myself out. I would put Magic in that lineup, and I would keep Magic with LeBron, with Michael,
Kobe.
and then I love Shaquille O'Neal, but I might have gone with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, okay. I'm not gonna tell you you're wrong.
I felt like I couldn't just go all with Penny, go one for one. Like I wanted to do Shaq because it's Jersey also, but he already went with Shaq, so I'm like, well, I can't go all the way with him. Yeah, so I throw Kareem in there.
That's good. What about
the most unstoppable shot?
What about guys you played with? If you got to put a five together, yeah.
A top five I played. Well, I always got to put my boy Gerald Wallace.
Yeah.
In that lineup, I put my first year Sean Kemp.
Yeah.
In that lineup, who else did I even play with?
I don't know. A lot of people.
I did, but it was like, so I put myself in there. I have to run the show. You just you said guys that I played with. Now I throw myself in there.
There you go.
Who else would I throw in there? That's a shame when you get this old. You just start to forget your teammates of who you had out there. Like I would have like, I'm trying to think of like a shooter I want. Like I would want like Wesley Person to be out there with me.
Like, Wesley Person. He was the best shooter Memphis had ever seen up to that point.
Wesley Person could just flat out shoot the basketball. Like it was phenomenal to watch him shoot the ball. So how many is that? 1, 2, 3. Is that 5?
What about Powell?
Throw Powell in the middle. Oh no, really? Yeah, I throw Powell in the middle and let my first year Sean Kemp play inside out.
Okay. All right. There you go. I like it. That's good. All right. A couple of things. The Tour Championship in golf was this weekend. Scotty Scheffler won $25 million to push his earnings this year to over $62.3 million. I mean, $62.3 million for Scotty Scheffler. It was the greatest
7 tournaments.
It was the greatest year since Tiger Woods won 8 times in 2006, including 6 in a row and 2 majors, all while dealing with the death of his father. Scheffler's 8 wins included the Masters, the Players' Championship, an Olympic gold medal, and the Tour Championship that enabled him to win the FedEx Cup. His 7 Tour titles are the most since Tiger in 2007. His caddy, Ted Scott, banked more than $6 million this year. Wow. Good year for Scotty Scheffler. Best year since Tiger Woods. I've been waiting to hear something like that.
Well, the thing about Scotty Scheffler is it's the way he even goes about it. Like it's just like it's a walk in the park. Like you don't get too high, don't get low, doesn't make a lot of emotion. And when you give a guy of his skill set, he already starts at the -10 and he has the lead going in to the start of this Tour Championship, then those other guys are just back there clawing and fighting for second, third, fourth, and down the line. And one of the things that happened in the tournament, they always say golf is a sport of good sportsmanship. And Sahith Theegala, who was at the top of the list, and there's a money difference. Second place, you get 12. I think you get $12.5 million. Third place, you get $7.5 million. So now he comes and he is in third place. He called a penalty on himself because his ball was in the bunker, and he thought that when he took his club back, he thought he saw a grain of sand move as he came back through the ball. So he called the penalty on himself. They went and looked at it. They said, really can't see if you really did or you didn't. They kept the penalty. So he lost 2 strokes. Do you know he finished in third place behind, I think, Morikawa by 2 strokes? So his money difference went from 12.5. He could have been at 12.5 million. He made a 7.5 million decision on the course. How many people would make that decision?
Golf people. Well, not all golf people.
I play with some people there's no listen.
I'll
You
say
heard what I said,
professional
though. He said-
golfers. I trust professional golfers. I trust them.
He said he thought a grain of not the ball moved.
That's crazy.
He thought a grain of the sand moved. I was like, bro, that was really. I mean, I gave him he gets a pat on the back.
Yeah, toast to him. My goodness. Yeah, that's brutal. FedEx Cup should mean something, right? On the resume, isn't it something? Have we built it up to be what it's supposed to be, a playoff and a champion and something to put on the Wikipedia page that you were a 2-time FedEx Cup champion or whatever? Shouldn't that be added to what you do?
It definitely should be because it's at this point in time, it's the way that they culminate the season. It's like at this point, it's like any other professional sports organization or whatever that sport is, that it finished with a champion. And this is the way that they finished with who was the best in golf for that season. And so it definitely should mean something on your resume. If it didn't, then why are they doing it?
And why do you get such a big purse? I mean,
big purse.
I mean, I think the money correlates with it being a big deal. It seems like a pretty big deal to me.
It's a huge deal. I mean, it's like I said, it is what all of the guys play for. It's the reason why they dwindle it down from 70 to 50 to now. This the best 30 players that we had to offer. You guys go out there and fight for this. And Scottie Scheffler all year long has been considered the best by far.
Speaking of the best by far, Asia Wilson is the best by far in the WNBA. The most 25-point double-doubles this season, she's got 15 of them. Second is Caitlin Clark with 4.
She just had 41 and 17 or 41 and 18 or something the other night. Asia did.
Crazy.
She is so like with all of the talk that's going on with Caitlin and Angel Reese and how they playing and who's the name face of the league and all. Asia Wilson just continues to just go kick on ass and they win and do their thing. With y'all can keep doing all of that, this ancillary talking. We're just gonna keep doing what we're doing right here on this court. It is
win.
Oh, she's phenomenal. I mean, and you watch her play, it's like she is physical, but she's also athletic. She's also moves fast, but she also knocks down jump shots. She puts the ball on the floor. I mean, she does every aspect of the game of basketball. She does it.
Yeah, pretty impressive. Caitlin's been impressive too. She now sits atop the Indiana Fever record book for most points in a rookie season, most double-doubles ever by a guard in a single season throughout the league with 12, and the Fever are over 500 for the first time since 2019. Wow. How about that?
Did we say last week? We was like, well, which one of these players are going to make the most impact on their team would be Rookie of the Year? I think she just kind of just kept putting that, like she kept pushing that pedal and just keeps going. And looking at, all of the controversy stuff, I didn't get involved. I just watched on the basketball side. The girl can just play basketball. Like she's good.
Yeah.
she and her being as good as she is, it has had an effect on the team to go along with what the rest of the team has been able to do. She's a piece of the puzzle, but she's just been a positive impact to that team.
Angel Reese, meanwhile, now has the all-time single-season rebounding record to her name. Against the Lynx on Sunday, pulled down her 405th rebound of the season. That became the all-time record in the league. She's averaging 12.9 rebounds per game, which would be the highest single-season average ever, and is also on pace to break the mark for the most offensive rebounds in a season by a player. How about
she talks about how much she likes the bang. She likes the physicality of it all. And so what? Wherever the rebounds are coming from, whether it's a missed shot by an opponent, a missed shot by herself, she goes and gets it.
Now we got a bit of a fight, though. We got a fight going on.
No way.
The great Sheryl Swoopes and the great Nancy Lieberman. They are
both my favorites.
They are both of them are analysts for the Dallas Wings, but they don't work together. They don't work together. They just kind of they switch off, swap games. Yeah. The Wings played the Indiana Fever, and Swoopes emerged as one of Caitlin Clark's most outspoken critics. Many viewers were left to wonder how deliberate her decision was to leave Clark out of a conversation when talking about what the Fever have done. And apparently Nancy Lieberman, she was watching, and she made a call to Sheryl Swoopes and said that she didn't think that was very good or very smart of her, and that she should take it back. She said by far she's going to be Rookie of the Year. If anybody thinks she's not, feel free to call me or hit me on Instagram or Twitter. She's in the MVP conversation as well. We should celebrate Caitlin Clark, not tolerate her. Thank you for uplifting in the game and doing this for our league. She appeared on Stephen A. Smith, discussed the situation with Swoopes and Clark as well, and admitted her relationship with Swoopes has been damaged for a while over their differing opinions of Caitlin Clark. What? Why?
Did Sheryl Swoopes have anything to say yet?
She said Nancy said I called Sheryl when Caitlin was still playing at Iowa and she had just broken Pete Maravich's record. There was this quote by Sheryl that said that her records were illegitimate. And I called her as a friend and told her, you can say whatever you want, but you can have your own opinion, but you're not getting this right. And Sheryl then apparently hasn't called her back. And now they're angry over Caitlin Clark.
I mean, I'd say a lot.
I mean, can you imagine if you and I had this conversation about, let's say, I don't know, John Conchar, and I was all about John Conchar, and I was all about the Jitty experience, and you were like, no, Jitty's terrible, and then we decided if we weren't going to speak to each other because of an opinion on a player. That is crazy.
I think there's. I had this talk at dinner the other night. The way that people see sports, like I like you to be passionate about the sport, about the game, but it's still just the sport and the game. Like you don't know these people. Like, so how am I gonna get in an argument with you to the point where I don't talk to you, or we had things over players that people that you don't know.
Yeah.
Like it always in my mind. I always is something that like I appreciate. I always appreciate. You appreciate fans and you like for people to love. You know how much I love the Giants. You know how much I hate the Cowboys. But I don't dislike Dak Prescott like the person. I like as soon as he was to wear another helmet and another jersey, I'd be like, oh, this dude is really good.
Right.
But I don't. I don't get. It's not.
Or dislike a person for being a Cowboy fan.
No, like and you know how much I don't like them. Like I don't like them. I said also I don't like you guys. I mean, it's nothing. I just like you because you like the Cowboys. Like I don't like you. But I'm not gonna not talk to you. I'm not gonna I don't understand, especially two people of this caliber, how we can get to that level. Like literally how it can get to that level.
Nancy said, I tried to talk to her at the Final Four. She didn't want to talk to me. My life's going to be good or great with or without Sheryl Swoopes in my life. I'd rather have her in it. Now, Swoopes then took to X and said, now here you go. I get what you're trying to do with your boy Stephen A. Smith, but it ain't working. You know good and well what happened. And ditto, my life's good without you too. You want to go there?
That's what I'm saying. Like there's something that we're missing. That's why I asked you, did Sheryl Swoopes say something? There has to be more to the story than the fact that you didn't listen. Sheryl Swoopes, you think that Caitlin Clark is not what she is to the game of basketball or what she is now to the Fever? Okay, that's how you feel. I feel like she is this, that. But to get to this point, we're missing there's something else that is missing in that story, bigger than just this Caitlin Clark thing.
Yeah. Did you have you ever seen the movie Ted?
That's with the bear.
Yeah, the little teddy bear with Wahlberg.
Yes.
No, is it Wahlberg?
Yeah.
I watched
those Wahlbergs.
I watched Ted 2 the other day.
Yeah, I didn't see 2.
I never saw 1, but I watched 2 because the other day I was trying to watch something after the USC LSU game, and I went to SportsCenter, but I don't get ESPN because I have Uverse.
Let's go Pac-12, baby.
I don't get
on the conferences.
I can't watch anything, so I didn't know what to do. So I just started flipping through channels, and I saw Ted 2. That little bear's pretty funny. I like
it was
he made me laugh.
Yes, it is, and it's not for children.
No, it is not. But he had me laughing. I was like, and I sat there thinking to myself, I can't believe I like this movie, and I couldn't stop watching because he's hysterical. And I was like, this is a terrible thing to watch. But hey, if it's on, tune it in, and you'll get a good laugh out of it. But yeah, the DirecTV Uverse thing in ESPN. I hate being held hostage as a viewer of television, especially a viewer who's spending a lot of money to get these channels.
Well, especially when you're a sports person, and I mean
Right.
there are a lot of other sports outlets and things, but at the end of the day, still ESPN gives you the widest variety of sports that you can watch, and because I'm guessing this is the ESPN Plus also.
ESPN Plus, ESPN2, News, SEC Network, ACC Network.
Deportes?
Yeah, Deportes out.
I listen to that sometimes. I turn it on there just because the energy and enthusiasm. I'm like, me and P, we're not doing a good job. We're not keeping up.
You can't compare yourself to Deportes. You just can't do it.
We're not keeping up. I mean, I don't know what they're saying, but I'm just like,
that's an energy. That's an energy that we need to bring to the table. I think that's what we need to do better this year in our whatever year it is. We need to bring that Deportes energy. That's going to be our goal this year.
That's going to be our model at our meetings.
Yes.
Deportes energy.
On 3.
And when we say break, listen. When we say break, we're not gonna go 1, 2, 3 and do this. Make our hands go up. I can't stand when we watch shows or something and they put their hands in like ready 1, 2, 3, and they say the thing. It's like 1, 2, 3, win. I'm like, who? No, it's 1, 2, 3. That's it. Like you put your hands down. Nobody. People standing behind. You can hit somebody. You do that.
You didn't. We don't want to do that. No. Just keep the hand in. Keep the hand in.
Keep it in.
For the next time you're around the water cooler at work and you're doing, hey, everybody in. Yeah. Don't
Somebody walking by and
somebody, and then we got a problem. Yeah. All right. Toast. I got a toast this week.
All right.
Toast to Joey Chestnut, world record holder.
How about that?
Monday afternoon, I was doing work and I sat there and I watched Unfinished Beef on Netflix live for an hour and 10 minutes. It was the Joey Chestnut against Kobayashi, the rematch from hell.
Yes. And it was on Netflix, right?
Yep. And they ate Ballpark Franks, not the Nathan's hot dogs. And they couldn't dunk the dogs in the water, like they like to do, and it gets all disgusting.
Did Nathan did trademark that or something?
I don't know. Who knows? Maybe. But they weren't allowed to do it. And he still broke the record with 83 hot dogs in 10 minutes, which is unbelievable.
Did he just take the hot dog and just eat it?
Yeah. And then could take a drink of water, but the water wasn't used for dunking. And then on the pregame show, they had this woman break a Guinness Book of World Records by eating 4 pounds of watermelon in 3 minutes. 4 pounds of watermelon in 3 minutes.
Holy cow.
It was disgusting. Yeah, it was a lot of watermelon.
Wow.
And then they had a chicken wing eater went against 3 Olympians, and the 3 Olympians got beat by like 20 chicken wings.
Oh my God.
In 3 minutes. So it was a good show. It was rather entertaining. And Joey Chestnut gets the title belt, and he is the world record holder for hot dogs eaten in 10 minutes. 83. Joey Chestnut. You got any toast?
How many toast this week?
All right. Am I missing anything? Gotten anything?
I think we did good for today.
I think we did all right. It was a good show. Good show. All right. Well, that's going to do it for us here on Night Court. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. And don't forget, you can watch each and every episode as well on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. You can listen wherever you get your podcasts, and make sure you tell your friends about it, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Leave comments. We love the comments as well.
Yes, please.
Yeah. After my clothes outburst last week, I apologize to everyone for that. I had gout. I was in an angry mood last week. So that's going to do it for us, though, today. For Brevin, I'm Fish. Thanks for joining us here on Night Court. We'll do it again next week. So until then, peace.
Thank you for listening to the Night Court podcast. If you enjoyed Rob and Brevin, hit that like button, subscribe to the Bluff City Media YouTube channel, and enjoy the content. We will see you back here next time.